Hey guys, good to see you again. So today I'm going to do a couple of ground exercises. These are level 1 movements, and in Kaehler Core levels, level 1 is on the ground, specifically when the back is actually in a flat neutral position. So there's less risk of you moving your back like a chain or moving while you're doing the exercise. So here I'm going to do some shoulder press or squat press and some knees to elbow. So I'm going to actually start with the pushing movement or the squat press. So I'm going to hook my feet in. So generally what I do is I put the top tube on the opposite shoulder for the foot I'm putting in. I pre-open the straps so they're ready to go. I put the top strap on first, then I put the heel strap on second. Then I just switch shoulders, so whatever foot I'm putting in, I have the tube on the other shoulder. So get this hooked in, just to make sure your feet don't slip out. So one of the things you want to make sure when you're doing these exercises is to keep the feet vertical. So we don't want to be pointing toes. We want to keep them vertical as we pull through. That's going to help work on the dorsiflexors or ankle dorsiflexors. And so what I'm going to do is lift the tube up. And here, as we have our hands and feet hooked onto the machine, the column will actually give the spine feedback, because the column's actually guiding the force, the resistance. So we have the bands on the footboard tube and the handle, and I actually have two bands on. So I have a blue one on one side, purple on the other. You can mix and match whatever you want. And I'm going to lay the head flat and kind of tuck my chin in. And I'm just going to start by warming up, just doing some leg presses and holds. So here I'm trying to keep the column parallel to my spine. And I'm going to hold for about 5 seconds. So again, lots of activation on the core system. I'm stabilizing with my arms and pressing through with the legs. Now I'm going to combo it out. I'm going to press them both out. Let's get full extension. And hold for 5 seconds or so. And then come back in. Press and hold, so I'm getting full press with a little mini shrug at the top. And come back down. This is a great way to start learning Kaehler Core training. Again, because the spine is on the ground, it really can't flex or move like a chain. But also the beauty of the Kaehler Core system is we're putting pressure through the spine in a column directed force. So by having the hands and feet hooked into the machine, the spine's actually picking up internal feedback on how to stabilize the spine as a column or one piece versus moving those 20 vertebrae between the Adam's apple and the tailbone. Nice long holds here. So again, you're doing moving arms and legs on a fixed spine. It's going to maximize strength in the arms and legs for the specific movement given. And it's developing tons of core work. We'll do a couple more here. Full extension, full reach. Press and hold. And come back. I'm going to get in one more here. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to superset. So I'm going to pull these bands off, and they'll just hang on the ground. I got whatever band you're going to use, I just lay it on the side. And I'm going to hook this around both pins. I'm going to pull the moving handle up towards the top of the fixed tube. Then I'm going to place the band around both band anchors. Now we do the knees to elbow or pulling movement. So I usually do a couple reps with just legs only to start. And I'll pull and hold. So going and looking for 90 degrees with the thighs. I'll touch and go, so I actually put my feet down on each rep onto the ground. But you can simply keep it up near if you'd like. And I'll pull and hold. So with these I usually breathe normally. I don't hold my breath. And hand position could be either way. And if you really want to get a little bit more sense of the Kaehler Core directed force, you can put the hands on the moving tube instead of the handles. And I'll just do a nice long hold. So these muscles are typically weak in most people that I test, really pretty much everybody. That includes NFL players, many Division I athletes, high school, recreational. Really the air shows up pretty much in everybody. So the leg flexors tend to be weak, whereas the extensors like the quads and glutes tend to be stronger. And that is like on a brake manual muscle test. So that's manual muscle testing I do from being a PT for 30 years. I kind of know what you need. And I also see all the errors that happen and the injuries that show up when these muscles are weak. So again, I'm doing a long hold. So I'm looking for time under tension, meaning how much time I'm holding the movement. So I'm teaching the spine to be this absolute controlling system, but in an endurance way. So doing long holds teaches it the endurance. So if you're doing sustained movements, endurance, exercises, running, cross-country skiing, swimming, cycling, any of those things, you really need good spine endurance, postural endurance, if you want to get the most out of what you're doing and cut injury risk down for that matter. So everybody's good at moving the spine with the extremities. We're taught that from the day we're born. What's trickier and harder is understanding how to control your spine as one segment versus 20 individual pieces that move together to generate force. Everybody's good at that, but that's where all the injuries show up, and that's where all the muscle amounts show up. So people who go through this Kaehler Core training, these extremity weaknesses and/or inflexibilities disappear by just doing one thing, just changing how you operate the spine. So really when we're looking at spine movement, or actually just movement in general, there's really only two ways humans can move. You're either moving your spine with your extremities or you're not. There's no in between. But understanding what not is a little tricky. And that's really what I teach, and that's what the Kaehler Core system is about. Is starting to teach you this other way to move so you can optimize your performance, significantly cut or eliminate injury risk, or if you have an injury, they disappear. And certainly what we've seen with our college clients is huge performance jumps once the athletes start to train on this Kaehler Core system. We typically start them on the ground on these level 1 exercises for the first 4 to 6 weeks only, so they can start to learn this new control system. And it unfolds on itself. So I'm going to do a second set of the squat press. So I'll just keep my feet hooked in so you can kind of superset here. So one set of push, one set of pull. I'll do a second set here. Like long holds here. So it's like a super plank. Because we're actually working the force through our spine, top to bottom. In a regular plank, on the ground, you're actually only doing shearing force top to bottom. So it's a totally different activation on the spine. Here we're actually giving the spine completely different feedback. It really works the deep core muscles, those intimate deep spine muscles that are great at moving the spine, but we want to be great at stabilizing the spine. I'm going to do 5 more. That's 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Last one. And 0. So I'm going to quickly take those off and we'll go back and do a second set of the pulls. Knees to elbows. And on this one we can also do one leg at a time. And those are, I call them cross abs. So there's different variations on how you do that. That's posted on another video. And we'll do 10 of these. switch to the middle grip. One more. So that's it. Quick workout, about 10 minutes. Got a good time under tension, working Kaehler Core, spine control in both directions, pushing and pulling, and just a great way to build fundamental movement control and eliminate injuries or prevent them, and just how to go faster. So, hey, thanks for letting me share this exercise routine. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.